Good morning. Thanks for joining me. Should I say Galimera or Chalimera in Greek? I'm going to try and say a good morning in different nationality each time. Well, it's going to be difficult. This morning we're going to do some abdominal workouts. I want to do some core strength training. I went for a run the other morning and ran on my toes rather than the heel and did my calves in, so just going to concentrate on the abs this morning. Things we are grateful for, I want to discuss that. Something I'm grateful for is the way my brain works. Sometimes it has a keen interest in random things, and I'm grateful for that because it makes me devour certain things, creative things in an interesting way. And I'm pretty sure I've got some form of ADHD. I was segue here, but I was watching a series on iView last night called No Offence, and I've got a massive stickler for British crime drama. I've watched the shit out of Frost, Touch of Frost, one of my favourite shows. I know, but I just love British cop dramas. I don't know why. I never got into The Bill, maybe because I was too young. I probably will one day. And I've been reading a lot of Tennyson, which is Linda LaPlante's 3-book series about a woman detective constable inspector, DCI. Anyway, so I checked out this new show on iView called No Offence, and it's about the cop drama, and it was pretty good. So I checked out the creator, Paul Abbott, who's a screenwriter, writer, creator of shows, and he's the guy behind Shameless, which is evidently based on his upbringing. Now I never watched Shameless. I will check it out though, and I started looking into his life, and I found this awesome YouTube interview with him from maybe, 10, 20 years ago, and he discusses his upbringing in this insane household of just poor, underprivileged, lower class, English, backtown sort of upbringing. And he described himself having a lot of mental issues in this bombardment of an upbringing. It was really interesting, and I kind of like some of the things he described with ADHD and stuff. I was like, oh, the way he did things creatively and how he got into his professional career as a writer and how he thought differently about things. I kind of understood some things. Anyway, just a personal thought in view into my thoughts there on ADHD and the creative process behind it. So sometimes I'm grateful for it, sometimes I'm not. Anywho, let's do some breathing exercises. Get some tissues. Because we are going to clear the nose. Just going to get a timer going. I'm going to start off with just some light breathing, where you're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose, obviously. And inhaling, lifting the diaphragm, followed by the chest. Exhaling, lowering the chest and the diaphragm. We'll do that for a minute. Practicing ujjayi breathing while we're doing this, so restricting the throat a little. Like a light snoring, you can feel the wind passing through your throat. Keep doing that. That's a bit better. Very good. Now, if you are menstruating or pregnant or having heart issues, high blood pressure issues, keep doing the ujjayi breathing. From here, we're going to move into some fire breathing. If you haven't done this already in any of my other videos, just exhaling, forcing the air out with your stomach, pushing your navel, belly button to the rear of your spine. And on the last exhale, inhale fully, filling up the chest, and release. Very good. I don't know about you, you should feel a lot warmer. Having done that now, you can feel the heat pushing through. Très bien. I'm going to make a little bit of room here. All right. We can start off a bit of cat-cow. So, coming onto our hands and knees, spreading our fingers nice and wide, knees underneath our hips and hands underneath our arms, tilting the pelvis up, rotating the shoulders back, inhaling, and the exhale, folding over, pushing the spine up, tucking the tailbone in, chin to chest, exhaling all the air out. Inhaling and exhale. In your own time here. Okay, very good. Coming on to our sitting bones. From here, just extending your arm out onto the mat and reaching our right arm over. Sorry, left arm on the mat, right arm over, and just bending down. Nice stretch there. Same on the left, right hand to the mat. Inhaling. Okay. Coming down onto our backs. Giving a nice full body stretch. do a little bit of a glute workout. So bringing your feet a little bit close to your bum but not touching, and the sides of your feet are parallel to the edge of the mat. You don't want the toes turned out that way or the heels turned out that way. You want to be straight with the edges of your feet, so your toes are pointing in a little bit. And this helps to keep the knees in the right position. So, laying on our backs, activating our feet and lifting our hips up. This works out the glutes, so we're just using our glute muscles and lowering. I want to try and do 20 of these. Really push yourself here. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Really only activating the glutes to using the glutes to pull the legs up and down. 4 in your own time. On the last one, I'm just going to hold it there. Really activating those glute muscles, bringing your hands underneath and interlocking the fingers and rotating out onto the edges of your shoulders. Really pushing high up, really pushing those butt muscles and making sure your knees aren't splayed out, keeping them nice and tight, toes spread out. Just breathing into that. Hold it for as long as you can. If you need to release, then release and lay back on the mat. Alright. Very good. Okay, from here, bring our knees up. Actually, can hold on to our bring our legs to our chest. Excuse me. Stretching out the inner hip flexors there, rotating them around a bit. And the other direction. Bring your knees up, grabbing onto the outside of your feet, squeezing your knees to your chest. And release the legs down. Okay, just bringing your legs up, sending your right leg, woo, over your left, and lifting up your hips, sending them over to the right, then dropping them, and then lowering your legs, your legs down to the ground. Extending your arms out on the sides, looking over your right hand and resting your left hand on your right knee. In this pose, you want to have both your shoulder blades on the mat. Don't want to be lifting your right shoulder blade. Nice stretch across the back there. And just breathing into that for a few breaths. And lifting your legs back up gently. Coming back to the center. Arms splayed out. Left leg over right leg. Lifting our hips up and over to the left. This helps get you a bit more space to drop your knees. And dropping your knees over to the right. Right hand on top of the left knee. Left hand out to the side and gazing out over our left shoulder, over our left fingertips. Again, shoulders are on the mat. If you can't go all the way down, that's fine. Go to wherever you can. As long as you feel a stretch there, release whenever you need to. Otherwise, holding for a few breaths. And release back to center. Alright. Now from here, bring our chest, legs to our chest again. Nice little hug, keeping the tailbone on the mat. And we will begin our ab exercises. So hands splayed out by our sides. On the inhale, inhaling at the center and then exhaling our knees to the right. Keeping our right hip on the mat and our shoulders on the mat. Inhaling to the center. Exhaling to the ground. Again, keeping shoulder blades. You might find one side wants to lift up. Inhaling to the center. Try and do 20 of these if you can. You can do 10, whatever you can do. So that's 2 in your own time. Exhaling to the right. 4, 5, 6, sorry. Really activating those abs when you're bringing your legs back up. And 20, coming back to the middle, lifting our legs all the way up, straightening the legs. Going to pull our legs toward us, lifting our hips up and shifting them over to the right, and then dropping our legs down. Now you want to have your head and shoulders on the mat. Inhale them back up, shift your weight over to the left and dropping them down. You don't want to be rotating your hips so your left leg's pointing up, your right. Both thighs are pointing up. Inhaling, exhaling down. 3. Try and do as many as you can of this. You're well enough moving up and down the mat. Try and do 10. I'm going to try and do 20. And on the last one, coming back to the center and just dropping your legs down and lifting them back up. Do 5 of those. Exhaling down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh my God. That is a strong ab workout. Alright. Oi. Just resting on our backs for a moment. You might feel a lot of pressure in your lower back, because that is quite heavy on the lower back there. If so, just bring your legs back up to your chest and just rest in a knees to chest position, making sure your tailbone is resting on the mat as well, and just laying there. You can let the knees splay out if you like. And then just resting our feet on the mat. I'm just going to fix my mat. Okay, if you like, we can come up and do some cat cows just to alleviate some more of the pressure from our lower back. Good. Okay, and coming from here, lay down on our stomachs. Lifting our feet up, grabbing onto the outside of our feet, using our feet, pulling our feet back to lift our chest off the floor. Breathing into this one. And release. Very good. Coming up onto our hands and knees again. What we're going to do here is come up into a high plank position. Now, with our fingers, you want them splayed out and thumbs are pointing a little bit straight forward so that your hands are turned a little bit. Can take pressure off your shoulders, and spreading those fingers and activating those knuckles takes a little bit of pressure off the wrists. What we're going to do here is inhale, our right leg up. Can jump the left foot forward a little bit if you like. I'm going to bring our right knee to our chest. Exhaling there, chin to chest. Inhale up, exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale up, exhale, right knee to right wrist. We do a square here. Inhale, right knee to left wrist. Inhale, right knee to left elbow. Exhaling. Inhale, right knee to chest. Inhale and exhale down. Whew. Should be getting warmed up right now. Back to the mat. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale to the chest, chin to chest. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale to the elbow on the left. Inhale, exhale to the left wrist. Inhale, exhale to right wrist. Inhale, exhale to right elbow. Inhale, exhale to chest. Inhale and down to our knees. Woo. Very good. You might feel that in the arms more than your abdominals. That's a really cool, really good core workout, that one, because it does build up the arms, the chest, the abs, the legs, everything. Oh, definitely warmed up now. That was just a little short kind of morning ab routine. In my Patreon page there is a 1 hour class or lesson or routine sequence, whatever you want to call it, where I add that into an hour lesson, so it's more geared towards core building and core strength. So if you're interested, check that out. Otherwise, let's do a little bit of meditation to finish off the class. Before we do the meditation, just get our heart rate down a bit. Taking nice deep breaths, inflating the diaphragm and the chest, followed by exhaling the chest and then the diaphragm. Do that for about a minute. Really forcing that air out with your abs. Do your Ujjayi breath, constricting the throat a bit. Right. from here, continuing that slow breathing, not as forced, coming into a nice meditation for 5 minutes. I'm going to try and implement this meditation into each class, each video, because I'm really enjoying getting back into some kind of meditation routine, and hopefully you get into it as well. So sitting with a nice straight back. Again, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, releasing any tension in your jaw and eyes, focusing on the sounds around you or your breathing, coming in through the nose, the sensation of the breathing in your nose, focusing on the center of your eyebrows. Any thoughts that come through, just notice them and let them continue on. Don't judge yourself or get angry. Just be aware and let your focus come back. We'll do this for 5 minutes. See you in 5. Okay, coming out of that, whenever you're ready, coming back to the space you're in. I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. It's those moments where I'm not thinking of anything, kind of getting longer, even though I shouldn't be aware of it, not thinking about it. But it seems to be getting better. One thing I did think of about meditation while I was meditating just then is, now with social media and our phones, I often think that when we have a minute of time or moment of time, a lot of people probably just end up scrolling through something or taking in information through news or Facebook or Instagram or anything like that. And our brains are having less time to be inactive throughout the day, as opposed to when we were younger, or my generation were younger, we just not do, maybe reading books or whatever. But I find myself just looking at trees nowadays and giving myself that time to just let the brain rest, because I'm not on social media at the moment. I haven't been for a few weeks, and it's been really good. So I think it's important to give, even with that 5 minutes of meditation, I think it's important to give our brains the time to just be passive and not taking on any information and just sitting over, mulling over things. I think it's very, very important. Anyway, just a little pondering there. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a really good day, and see you soon. Or you'll see me soon. Bye!